The engine is starting
For
up.
launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop. Go. GNC. Go. Max. Go. Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, all you creepy little weirdos out there. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Horror, History, and Haunting Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Spencer. I have a psychology. I'm working on my master's degree. Typically, I am your tour guide through the realms of the paranormal, the supernatural, and the just plain weird. But up here in the Appalachian Cabin, we do things a little differently. We're doing interviews. We're going to be doing a story by you. So, and tonight we have a wonderful, her name is April Busset. She's the psychic housewife of New Jersey, celebrity psychic medium with natural born clairvoyancy. She is the force behind Ghosted Magazine. She is the creator, founder, and CEO. She's seen on Travel Channel, The Hoser Files, The Haunted Hotels, and The Haunted Files. And she's currently filming a new project, which hopefully she'll talk to us about today. So let's bring her on. Hey, April, welcome.
Hey, Christina, how are you? Thanks for having me.
There we go.
Oh.
I am so
Those
blessed.
damn mountains.
You took this time out.
No, thanks for having
So,
me. I'm
I
so happy to be here.
wonderful. Like we're going to be working through a little delay. Like I said, up here in the mountains, it's charming, but it has its challenges. So we're working through that. Now, I've heard of the Ghosted magazine for at least a year or so that you've been episodes of that. What caused you to want to do that? And have you did any really good DC interviews lately?
Well, yeah, I came up with this idea like years ago. I don't even remember how many years ago, maybe 6 years ago. I said I remember saying to my agent, I want to create a magazine. I always wanted to have a magazine because I work in the paranormal and I know everyone. I know all the celebrities, so I have access to everyone. Plus, I love like sharing stories. So, I fell in love in the 90s when the internet first came out and I discovered the internet. There was this website that had all these ghost stories, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to bring the stories to the people, and have people share stories, because actually on my now Ghosted magazine is print and digital, and it blew up. This by the second issue, forget it. Ghosted just blew up. We're everywhere now. We're everywhere. We host, we sponsor so many events now. But our first issue was with Jason Hawes. Ghost Hunters, of course. You have to have Jason Hawes on the
Everybody
cover. But
knows who Jason is.
yeah, I know Jason's making quite a stir, and I hope he makes all that GoFundMe money. He seems to have his heart in the right place. Yeah. So either way, hopefully whoever gets it, will do the right thing. Just like our last issue was of Ghosted was with Elton Cast, who we all know Elton Cast, and Matt Rife. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see Matt Rife because he was touring. But the night that they announced that they bought the Warren house, I had messaged them right away, and they got back to me right away. And I drove down the next day, me and my business partner, Michael Castro, and we got to interview Elton. Now, we were at the Warren's house the year before. We did a story on the on their museum. We got a private tour of the museum. It was awesome, and the house and everything. But this is a crazy story. So, we're interviewing them, and I got to sit in Lorraine Warren's chair while I was doing the interview. Oh my God, I was in my glory. I just love them. Like, they opened up so many doors for us, just like Hans Holzer, like so many people opened the doors for us. Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, Paranormal State, Ryan Buell. I absolutely adore Ryan Buell. That was my favorite show. Paranormal State and Ghost Adventures were my favorite shows. But anyway, so we're there, we got to interview them. So now we weren't allowed to go in the basement of the house. Now this is weird. So we're doing an interview, me and my business partner, and we're hearing now these guys, that from Nesper are used to the sounds and everything. We are not. When I walked in the house, it's very peaceful. You can actually feel Lorraine Warren's love in this house. But we were hearing voices, conversations going on coming from the basement. So we run over there. We're not allowed to go down there. We're looking down there. Yeah, I know, they had boxes and everything. And
hear something.
Wait, now that basement is connected to, it's called the Haunted Hallway that goes into the museum. Anyway, we're looking down. We're hearing conversations going, house. You hear a bunch of conversations going. We are seeing shadows of people walking past. And now it's already black, but when you see a shadow figure or or a spirit, the blackness of them against the black, you can make it out. It was
Right.
incredible. So now fast forward,
Right.
we get to go to back to the Warrens' house. Now Elton Cast is the new owner, him and Matt Rife, and I got to meet his beautiful wife Ginger. They were so gracious. They, took us through the house, and I was just thinking of something that they said to me. All right, I have to go back to. I forgot, and I remembered. Anyway, we got to go down in the basement. I was in
Hmm.
my glory, So we're like, oh my God, we got to see, um, Ed Warren's desk. And that's the cover photo of Elton Cassidy that Michael took. Michael is our senior graphic designer for the magazine and also writer and co-founder with me. Um, and Ed Warren's desk has like all the tarot cards on it. So they had it exactly like Ed left it. So the picture we have on the cover
Oh,
is
wow.
Elton sitting at Ed Warren's desk holding up the card. So it was crazy. Oh, that's right. I just thought of it. So when I was in the house the first time, and I had to use the ladies' room, the powder room, and I was in there, and I swear I felt like somebody was in the room with me watching me, and I could hear somebody, but it didn't feel bad, and I'm a psychic too, so that's my profession. Um, and it felt like Lorraine. So when I was talking to Ginger about this, she had brought up like she felt like somebody was watching her in bed, but she felt like it was I said exactly. I said the same thing happened to me. I said, but it's a little, off-putting, like I don't feel like being I don't want to see Lorraine yet. I wasn't ready for her house and having contact with her. But it was funny because I was thinking about this the other day. I remember they were asking me like if I was picking up anything, like when I first was there, and I was actually picking up Lorraine. And this is kind of private, but I was talking to Tony about it. But um, there, I was picking up something that she didn't like, something with her hands when they, at the wake or where they I think I forgot what Tony said. It was so low. I have to ask him, but I don't know if they had the wrong rosary beads or how they had the rosary beads. But she brought that up to me. She's like, there was something about something in her hand, but just crazy, crazy stuff.
She
So
wanted the
yeah,
other
that's our latest.
rosary.
Yeah, she wanted the other rosary, but it's funny. I've had like when I do my readings where this is another funny story, but anyway, I was hired to do an event at the Hillview Manor, and they put me up in this hotel, and it's funny, I'm guilty of this, people, but I always steal the cards. At the hotels, I always bring the card in with me because I'm so lazy, and I left it there. Well, when I came back, the card was missing. I was pissed. I go up to the desk because, like, I felt like, you're in my room. So what else were you doing? And you're not allowed to go in the
Hmm.
hotel room unless there's a fire for no reason at all. You know. Anyway, so I leave. The manager winds up calling me, and she's like, April, I'm so sorry. This will never happen. I said, no, no, I understand. I said I was just like getting a little off put that they were in my room because I had stuff in there. My laptop, all
Right.
my electronics. So anyway, so she's like, I'm sorry I had to go to a funeral, and I connected right away. I said, is this your mother? I forgot what her name was, but I said the name, like say Anne. I said, I'm picking up an Anne. And she said, oh my God, that's my mom. She just passed away. That's the funeral I was at. I said, and the little niceties back and forth. And then she said, why? She goes, why did you put my damn teeth in my mouth? And she starts laughing and crying at the same time. She goes, April, she said we were like fighting back and forth to whether to put her teeth in. And the mother kept saying to me, they didn't bury me with my damn teeth. But the mother, of course, the mother wasn't mad, but it was funny. But it was really cute. But you know what? There was a reason. I always felt like that there was a reason for it, like me to get upset over the cart. The cart was taken out. So the mother, like I
Yeah,
feel
you
like the
could.
mother had her
Mm,
hand in that. So
yeah,
she talked to her daughter. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm just reading the comments
I
here.
agree. I am always like a firm believer that there are some things. It's almost like the butterfly Like there are some things that have to, like you're drawn, and especially if you're given a gift. I think there are certain
Yeah.
situations where you're drawn to a person because they need that in that moment.
Absolutely. It's, like you always hear every psychic say, like, there's signs all around us, and it's hard to explain. And I hate like regurgitating that where everyone says, but it's the truth. Like, I pay attention to everything. If I see things during the day and I just like where my eyes are drawn, I said, oh my God, that's for my next reading. Or I see the name Michael, like I keep seeing the name. I said, that's for my next reading. I'm getting signs from the people before I go, do my readings, before I get it, onto my computer with them. It's crazy. But you have to learn to see those signs, listen to those voices, quiet your mind, because I'll hear things throughout the day, little messages and stuff. It's crazy, but it's not, it sounds like it would be annoying throughout the day, but it's not. It's so these messages are so subtle. You just have to learn the language of the dead,
Yeah,
So,
that's what
what's
I always
funny?
imagine, because I have ADHD and I get overwhelmed with the voices that are inside my head that are my own, let alone everyone
Yeah.
else's trying to shout at me at the same time. Like, I don't know how, when you're a clairvoyant, how you deal with it day in and day out. Is there specific techniques where you can kind of filter it, or is it
Well, you
just
know what? It's only if I want to. Like I'm not going 24/7. But if it's important to get through, it will come through to me. But I'm not connected. Like I can walk past a mass murderer, not even know, unless I'm tuning. Usually, like, as soon as I sit down at my desk here and I have the person in front of me, I tune right into them, and that's when I'm working. Um, this is a funny story. Like my husband will like say, I love my husband, but he'll go, you should read people when you go out. And I'm like, no, that's so intrusive. And I don't feel like reading. I don't feel like working. I'm like,
right?
anyway, so he'll say that to me. So the one
That's your
day he says
downtime.
that to me. Yeah, yeah, it's right downtime. So he said, just try picking up stuff around people. And I'm like, no, no, no. So the next day I was going to get my hair done, right? So I said, all right, I'm going to tune in. I'm going to try and tune. Let me put my feelers out. And I see a little brown puppy just pass. Somebody just lost their dog. So I figured,
Oh,
so the girl, I know. So the girl, and that's all I was picking up because I was just like touching. I just want to feel. And she's washing my hair. So I go, I'm trying to be subtle. I'm like, hey, you have any animals? So she, no, I don't like animals. I'm like, all right. I'm like, maybe he's not working. All of a sudden, this guy sits down next to me. He's getting his hair washed, and the girl's going, so how you doing? He goes, not good. I just lost my puppy. And I see him
oh,
take out the phone and show the picture. I'm like, that's the dog. It's a little brown puppy. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, I don't want to look like that weird. I don't want to be that weird of walking up to people.
yeah,
Hi. Bob wants to say hi
right.
to
I
you.
I I can completely
Yeah, Bob.
understand that because, like, with me, um, months and months, I thought I was losing my mind, but I do think like something was preparing me for it when you were talking about pets. For my shadow dart across the floor at the
Mm,
trailer that we were living, and I kept seeing it over and over. I said, it looks like a black just darting around. I don't know how to explain it. And
yeah.
we had no intention on getting a cat. We would plan
Now
to
you do.
move, and it's hard to find a partner. Exactly, because she came knocking on our door, and she started
Yeah.
hanging around this little black cat, and he jokingly refers to her as my familiar because she moved in with whether we wanted
Hmm.
her or not, and she's right here on
That's your
the
little
bed beside
protector.
me. She doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
That
my little. But still, I
that
believe
cat
that. I believe animals do have spirits
that
for.
cat came to protect you. Um, you do absolutely have like people around you, and I was just talking to somebody about this. I hate, like, I've taken classes, and it's like trying to find their spirit guides, and everyone wants to be like, really stand out. I have Chief, Butterfinger with me. Everyone has an Indian. I remember we were doing this thing like where we had to find our spirit animal, and everyone's like, I was an eagle and I was a tiger, and I'm like,
It's always a
I was a mouse.
big.
Yeah, I was a mouse. I swear to God, I was telling my husband the story. We had to, like, it's really, really good practice, but I was a mouse, and this mouse just gets around. It was great, but I was laughing, that people always say, because that's their imagination. That's not their psychic. See, people, that's
Right.
when they're using their ego. Their ego gets in the way. You cannot have your ego get in the way. You have to, release that. That's the only way to read, or else you will read incorrectly. You're just going to pick up bullshit. But wait, you want to hear this? I just did a private event last week. I did a video. So, guys, if you ever go on my social media, I always put up videos. I make videos of stories about readings I do, but I always have evidence with it, or I do my live readings. But I got hired to do this event at this law firm for a bunch of attorneys and their employees, right? So they put me into this conference room. So I get in there and I'm sitting there setting up, and all of a sudden, this spirit of this man comes in and he just appears right in front of me. This big, tall man, with his gray suit, and he's an older guy. And I know he just passed, and he's blah, 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 blah. He's talking a mile a minute, blah, 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 blah. And he showed me a contract. I said, if you had cameras in here, I'm looking down at the table and I'm yesing him. Okay, show me the contract. Da, da, da. He showed me something about a signature, something about property. And he kept saying the name. He's like, Larry. That's all he kept saying, Larry. So the first girl that comes in to get a reading, I said, hey, I got to ask you. I said, did one of your attorneys, an older gentleman, just pass? Yeah, that's Jim. As a matter of fact, this is his office. I'm like, oh,
okay.
I can still smell him. I smell him in the office. Anyway, I'm telling what's happened. And every person that comes in, I'm telling them the story. All right, I don't know any Larrys. I don't, we don't know. So the next day I get an email for the girl that, hosted it, saying, thank you so much. Everyone loved you. You were amazing. And I got to tell you something. You were picking up on Jim, the attorney that just passed away, and you kept saying the name Larry. We just got a email throughout the whole firm that an old case from 20 years ago that was Jim's just got settled, and they were getting a large sum to the name of Larry. It was
I guess
crazy?
he was just trying to tell everybody it'll be okay. I took care of it.
I took care of it. Tell
You guys
Larry
are
he's
good.
getting his money. He finished his last case and he's moving on. So
Right? He was
he
making sure the
settled his
paperwork
last
was
case.
finalized.
But this guy Larry's waiting 20 years for this settlement on a property and got it, So it was pretty cool. So it's fun. Some of these readings are fun, some are scary because I do haunted locations too. So it's crazy. You do this. Oh,
Well,
so
I've never considered myself psychic.
No, but is it
think
do you investigate haunted locations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I
so-
do. I haven't done any public because I've always just done smaller,
I don't know. It
private
doesn't matter. I like
type of investigation.
the
I
private
like
are more
helping
fun.
people.
I like
That's
doing the private. That's more fun.
Well, I just like helping people, and if people, a lot of people, it's like you touched on talking about the paranormal, even cryptids or anything like that. Immediately think you're a nut job, and if depending on how
Yeah.
somebody's raised, they don't want it out in the public that they're dealing with, the spookies and the hocus pocus, So usually people contact me through my family or, friends that know that I do it. Or I've even been in restaurants before. Oh, you do that? Because my daughter would be talking about it and they'll be like, well,
Yeah.
we have this situation, Like, okay, let me see. I can tell you a couple things that might help.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I have
I
a strict
do.
rule though. When I go out, if I'm invited somewhere, I always tell my friends or whoever, I said, please tell the people not to ask me to read. Because I want to be out and have fun because I get bombarded if I go. So I just stop going out with large groups. I'll just go out my one friend, And it's not that I don't want to read people. I need to shut down and have a freaking drink,
Have a martini, leave me be. But
Yeah. Espresso
never-
martini.
When it comes to psychic phenomenon, clairvoyance, and things like that, I've had weird things happen. But usually when that happens, it freaks me out to the point I don't want to talk about it, and I
Yeah.
don't want to explore it more, and that's part of the
You feel like you're
reason I
losing
haven't
control.
finished my master's degree. Yeah, and like it's hard for me to. I'm always afraid, like, well, what if? Because I'm an analytical minded person. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going
So am
crazy.
I. So am I.
Like, should I say this to somebody?
Yeah.
But
Well, rule of thumb,
in my next
always whatever you're
class
picking up,
for my
say it. Yeah.
yeah,
Just say
it's
what you're
for
feeling.
increasing your psychic consciousness,
Yeah.
and I've been
Let me tell you something. The key to doing this, and it's really easy. You can sort of do meditation is the key. That's how you make the connection, because you're training your mind to connect. They have to lower their frequency. You have to make, heighten your frequency to match theirs. The blending of the energy, so you can read that, you can talk to each other. But doing this is through meditation. The more you do it, the more your body automatically does it. So when I sit here, my body starts raising its frequency automatically. I train my body, and not on purpose, but it does that. That's the meditation. But the one thing that I found that works the best, because I used to do it to music, some guided meditation, which I love. But one day I said, you know what? I'm going to sit here. I was in complete silence, and there's noise going out. There's somebody mowing their freaking lawn. The key to meditation is you should be able to sit in the middle of Grand Central Station and to shut out all the noise and just connect. And I did that, and ever since I did it, my connection got so much better. The names are clear. Like, I will hear the names clearly, now. So
So
if you
when you're
try it,
talking
it
about
really works.
connecting, is that like a higher consciousness or like just the spirits themselves? Like,
So you're going to tap into your own consciousness, which is really the psychic part, your higher self. Sometimes if you hear the voices, I did this thing, a video. If you like close your eyes and ask a question, what did you hear the answer? What I said, was it your voice? Did you hear? Because we know when we hear our own voice, when we talk to ourselves.
mm-hmm.
I talk to myself all the time in my head. I'm shopping in my head. But then the one day I did it, I'm like, holy shit, that wasn't my voice. When I like, wasn't my voice, but you just forget to pay attention to that. But so when you're blending the consciousness, you're gonna. So I'm gonna like do a reading with you. So I'm gonna blend with your energy, but I'm going to like the other side to connect with the other side to bring in any of your loved ones or somebody that wants to talk to you. um it's hard work, but once you do it, you have to condition yourself, and it's practice. It's hard work. It takes years, like, and I've noticed, like, it took me years before, like, I was getting names, and now I get names are like easy for me, or even getting close to the initial. You'll see a lot of my videos on my social media where I'm like, who's Fred? Oh my God, Fred! Like, it's weird names you're getting. It's not all the time. It's hard to do. Hey, Bits and Bone, that's Angelina. But
No,
it's
even
funny. You
we were
just got to.
so deep chatting. I didn't even look at the. I'm so sorry,
Yeah, and
guys.
Robert Odell. Hello, Robert. He's in the city of Poe and Crawley, haunted Richmond, Virginia, at Halloween. Halloween. Is that a?
It may not let me pull up the chat because like I said, I'm working with limited bandwidth here. So if I don't bring up the
Yeah.
chat, I do apologize. It's just I'll see if it'll let me show it on stream, but
Oh, there's
otherwise,
my
it's
friend
not
Miss
going to.
Katie.
Hi guys, if I missed, sorry. Like I said, technology that doesn't like me.
You'll learn. I know. Listen, I'm telling you, I do my TikTok lives, and I'm like, oh my God, Katie, you're on my TikTok live. The messages are going by so quick, and some nights, like I told you,
Right.
I'm up to like 65,000 people, and they're all spewing like, and I'm like, all right, guys, relax. And then, like, over and over, the same question over and over again. I'm like, you stop doing that. But I go through and I see who I'm going to connect with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
No.
yeah, it's a lot of fun, you know. But it's a lot of strain on my, you know, my body. It's a lot of strain because I will, you know, I take on people's how the people pass. I take on their illnesses, heart attacks. That's the worst. The heart attack because I hate. I feels like I'm losing my breath. I can't breathe. You can't breathe if you're having a heart attack, and I hate that feeling.
Right.
I had this is horrible. I was just talking about this, but there was one reading I was doing, and for some reason, all the dead people like to tell you how they died. You know, so usually, which is good. So,
Okay.
so when I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, oh, I have, you know, Bob here, and you know, he had cancer of the colon, you know, something like that. You know, like so they oh, that's Bob. That's how Bob died, I guess. But they do love to talk about their illnesses, you know. But this one guy came through. It was the brother of this girl. I forgot. I'm gonna make it up. His name Dean. I said, "There's a guy Dean here." She said, "It's my brother." I said, "So he showed me how he dies, and it was horrible." I see him on a piece of equipment, and something hits him in his head, and you know takes off part of his head, and that's what I'm seeing. So and I was trying to do it very, you know, eloquently, and you know, I see, you know, I'm seeing like he's on equipment and he gets hit in the head. And you know, I didn't want to, you know, because it's so gruesome. And she goes, "Yeah, you know, he was working machinery, and the thing snapped and came back and took off half his head." And that's exactly what he showed me. It was so gruesome. So, yeah. So
Yeah,
some things are a little
that
different.
has to be uncomfortable to feel that, like especially in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
moment of fear and the crunch.
One time,
No.
one time I was sitting with my husband before I was doing a reading, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, and my
Hi,
head,
Bob.
all of a sudden, I feel like somebody whacked me in the head with a baseball bat. And I'm like, ow. My husband's like, what's wrong? I said, I feel like somebody just hit me in the head. And I said, it's probably for my next reading. So fast forward, I'm doing the reading. I have this female here. She's showing, you know, she gets hit in the head, and this is how she passes. She's sitting on the couch, and a man behind her takes a bat to her head. And she's like, that was my sister. Her husband took a baseball bat to her head.
Mm.
And yeah. And I'm like, ow, that was so painful. It's sad, you know. I'm trying to read your comments.
Yeah, it's going by. So, hi, Michelle. Hi, Bob. Nice to know
Hi,
that you're alive. We're
Michelle.
talking about you, I promise.
Hi, Bob B.
Don't. Hey, Ed. Thanks for checking. You're in the city of Poe. That's great. I think I got it handled, but thank you for checking in. He's the head of the network. He's just popping in, making sure I'm doing okay. Usually he likes to hang back and help me.
We're cursing and
I'm doing
drinking here.
all this.
I saw that like it was like one of the like if some if I guess if we curse or anything, if you need to seek help or something, they're gonna need help after listening to me. And I do have potty mouth. No.
I do too. I have to watch it because I think it's YouTube doesn't like it, and Facebook doesn't like it. So, and
Oh
sometimes
my
I'll
God. Blah, blah,
slip up
blah.
and drop an F bomb. So,
What the
yeah,
hell? You know, like, what is this? Our
feel free.
parents? We're
Right,
grown
right.
women. We can curse. I've seen worse things online on YouTube and Facebook. You know what I saw today that was so disturbing? I'm looking, I thought it was fake. There's this guy, like, I don't know, he looks like he's punching or chopping. And all of a sudden, you see him kick something into the street. This guy chopped off his boss's head and kicked his head into the street. This is
Oh my
on
gosh.
TikTok. It was on Facebook. And they're worried about the F bomb.
Cousin? Yeah, really. Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah, it was.
It
I was
never
like,
ceases to amaze me. But
that was.
I
I
lived
don't
through the
always do
duration
that.
of Faces of Death, so I think I'm a little bit
Oh,
more desensitized
Maroon.
than
Oh my God,
most.
I know. I watched a little bit. That was horrible. I don't know how people can watch that stuff. It's so disturbing. You got to be a special person to watch it. It it stays with you, you know.
Hmm.
I'm glad,
That
like, the
stays no
US, they
matter
don't
what.
show any of that on TV, but, outside of the United States, they will show everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna move
Wait,
this
what is
over.
Bob saying?
I'm working.
Working on my mediumship skills and hope to be a psychic detective. I learned so much from you. Thank you. Oh, I teach
Aw.
classes. As a matter of fact, I just for University Magicus, that's Patty Negri's school.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a few months back, right? A class. It was a certification class for psychic detective work. It's a lot of fun. I love doing it. That's not my favorite thing to do. If I do it, I do it privately. Because I don't want I want to tell you, like, when somebody reaches out to me, and it has to be somebody that I know. Personally, that'll do it. I don't like doing it. It's grueling. Plus, it's you usually not bringing good news to people.
It has to be emotional.
It
Yeah.
is very
Emotionally
emotional.
draining. Because that's
It is.
traumatic.
It's very traumatic. Plus, my thing is, you have to notify, because of course they work with police. Notify the police. I don't have to talk to the police, but just notify them that you're working with me, so I'm not implicated. Because they're like, "How did you know the murder weapon was,
Yeah. Oh.
yeah?" And then
In
all
the
of a sudden,
loop.
I'm being arrested. Yeah, So, but I get I get ambushed sometimes if I'm at an event, like families will corner me. But I remember this one woman, I was out of state. I forgot where I was. I was far away, but she wanted to know about her son, and I knew he was dead. I picked up his name. I described what he looked like, and I kept saying, "Oh my God, he's like talking funny. Like it's like he can't talk right. Well, he had no teeth, So I'm like, all right, because there's the way he was talking was. But I see him. I said, I see two men and a female with him before he dies. And I picked up the name of the guy, which was the suspected killer that the police
Oh,
even had.
wow.
And I saw how they beat him to death. Um, she goes, I know he's dead. Before telling her all this, she goes, I already know he's dead. I said, all right, he is passed. That's why I don't want to bring that news, like, because families don't know if the person's dead or not. So I can tell by a
Right.
picture, because I always have them send me a picture, and as soon as I look at the picture, I can tell if they're passed or not. I don't want to be the one to say, hey, they're dead.
Right.
It's such horrific news. It's something I don't want to do. But if I can help another way, like I helped like in a missing persons case, but the person was alive, thank God. And exactly where I said where they were going to find her, and it was funny. I saw her barefoot. I said, this lady's walking barefoot in wet leaves by a river or something. And I told her, there's going to be a black guy that in a business suit that finds her. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but I know it was good. I was glad she got found, so.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
blessing that she was found.
yeah. Well,
That she wasn't
I had
murdered or
them send me a
anything.
picture, and I knew she was alive. So I'm like, all right, I'm comfortable doing that. I said, I know she's alive, and she'll be found in a few hours. So, but yeah,
Now,
it's
do you ever have like prophetic dreams?
no, wait. Wait, I usually never do, because I do this during the waking hour. People that usually can't do it during the waking hour, because wait, I was just watching something on this. Because I'm a psychic and I do this naturally, I could do this in the waking hour. So people that can visualize, like how I can visualize, I can see everything. Like here, this is the TV. I watch everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can't do that, so it comes out in their dreams. Because my best friend Connie can do that, like nobody's business. She'll like, I had a dream, Uncle Tom left me 50 grand and he's dying from cancer. And she would find out the next day her Uncle Tom died from cancer and left her $50,000. It's crazy. But you know what? I got to tell you, I did have a dream a couple weeks ago that I had to have, like, I dreamt I was having this test done. And the next day I got a phone call that I had to have that test done. And I'm like, oh my God. I was
No.
like, no, no, no. But usually I never have dreams like prophetic dreams. It's always during the day, like I'll see stuff.
Well, that's
But
interesting because, like, I've had some weird weird coincidences with dreams. Like, before 9/11, I was dreaming a lot about
oh yeah,
fires and then people falling out of the sky. And it didn't
yeah.
make sense. And I couldn't sleep for weeks. And then 9/11 happened.
You
I've had
know, there was
dreams.
reports of so many people that had dreams before it happened.
Oh, really? So I wasn't the only one
Hmm.
that because I had
Yeah, it was
nightmares
weird. It
about
was like it
fire.
was all over the world. People were dreaming, and then it happened. I did not have that dream. You know what? I don't do world events like my husband. It's another story. I don't want
But
to do
every
world
once in a while,
events, but
I
yeah,
will have a weird dream, and it always like upsets me because I know something's gonna happen sometimes, but I don't know
yeah.
what it is. I just know,
So you
like
know what you
for
have to
me, it's
do?
not like black and white like that.
Well, I'm going to say that's good that you do that. So you do have a bit. We all have abilities, but listen, if it's like somebody taking painting classes, you can learn how to paint, but not everyone's going to be a Picasso. So you know what I'm saying? You can get to a degree, but you're doing this work. You know, you do this
Hmm.
work, so of course you're going to start. You will. Your abilities are going to start opening up, especially when we're doing investigations, because we're in the dark.
Usually,
So
I
we
can
have to
walk in
use.
and tell, like,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
going by your feelers, your hearing. You know, and I always said like
Hmm.
Zach Bagans started out not psychic. That guy is psychic now because he's been doing this so many years. You learn to use your sense of feel, smell. Like I use all my clairs. I can smell, I can taste. Um, you know, of course, if you can't see, if you're in the dark, which I don't like, I guys, I'm gonna tell you something, a little secret. I am petrified in the dark, and the reason is because when the lights go out, I can hear and see better, but they come closer to me, and I don't like them coming close to me.
Mm.
That's my number one rule with them.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
And that's
do
what they
not
say.
come
You're
too
not
close.
not afraid of being alone in the dark. You're afraid that you're not alone in the dark. That's where the fear
Exactly. I
comes
just don't like them coming too close to me, and they do that when it's dark, and I don't like that. It's like, they're like, sneaking up on me, and I don't like that
from.
because I had that happen too many times, and I don't like that feeling. You know,
That feeling right there.
yeah. Let me tell you something. I
Well,
had with the world events again. My husband, my beautiful husband, goes to me. You should start doing world events. I said, absolutely not. I am not open that can. I don't want to know because you don't know everything. So anyway, so
do
I
with that. Like,
yeah, I know. I just don't. I don't want to. I don't. There's things I don't want to know. I like doing what I do. I like reading for people. I want to do that. I like doing my lives. I enjoy that. But so the next morning I wake up here. I'm at my desk and I said, "All right, guys, give me something. What's going to happen?" And I hear active shooter. I'm like, "Pff, there's always an active shooter, right?" But then they show
mhm.
me my daughter. And I said, "Oh no, 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 no! All right, I'll never do this again because I know,
I'm
this is
listening.
my imagination." But I hear, but then after I saw my daughter, but she'll be far away, and I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I'm imagining this. I got up. I was, shook from this. Well, later that night, about 9 o'clock at night, my cell phone rings. I pick it. It's my daughter. I pick up. She goes, "Mom, there's an active shooter." I fell to my knees. She goes, "But we're far away." She was at the American Dream Mall here in New Jersey, and there was an active shooter, but she was
Mhm.
far away. Thank God. I'm telling you, I went into the other room. I looked at my husband. I said, "You mother effer, don't you ever do that to me." Because they don't give you information. They're
Mm-mm.
not telling you the time. They're not telling you the date. Just like you having the dream about 9/11. Did you know where it's going to be? They telling you it's Manhattan. They telling you it's Twin Tower. But I will tell you, if it
No.
wasn't that I saw my,
I thought I really bad nightmares about fire
yeah.
and like
So if you
for
do
some
that, you have to like start to learn to ask questions. Like, like that guy Bob, Jim, that guy Jim, the dead attorney that I was talking to. I was actually asking questions. I'm like, all right, what do you want? What do you want to show me? Not that, I could hear everything from him. It was really, but I was trying to ask him questions. Well, Jim, what am I looking at? Does somebody have to sign this? What do you want? Like, I swear to God, if they had cameras on me, they would have thought I was crazy because I'm having this conversation when nobody's there. I even said to the lady, do you have cameras in there? She's like, no. I said, I wish I had cameras because she would have saw me talking to myself, looking at the table, pointing to the table, looking down. But you know what? So Kim Russo, who I had in issue number 2. Matter of fact, for Ghosted Magazine, guys, by the way, you can go to ghostedmagazine.com. We do take stories. If you want to share a story, ghost story, or something that happened to you, pictures that you have, upload it. We will definitely we'll have that on our website for our digital magazine. But Kim Russo, she's amazing. Her and John Edward, my favorite psychics in the whole world. They're fantastic, above, highly gifted. Kim, I said, you're like a reporter for the dead. And because she knows she does when she picks up, like, when she's talking to, she asks so many questions. And she goes, because I'm a Gemini. I said, that makes sense. Geminis will ask a million questions. Like me, I'm like, whatever you want to tell me. I'm not prying. So, but I'm trying to ask more questions. All right, what do you want me to? What? And I'm like kind of arguing with them sometimes. I was doing this reading for this girl that lost her mom. Her mom was coming through, and say her name was Mary, and I said, I got Mary here. She says she's your mother, and then the mother is showing me apples, and I'm in my head arguing with this woman. I'm like, lady, I am not saying apples, that you made apple pies. What mother doesn't bake an apple pie? She's like, so the mother's arguing back with me. She goes, just say apples. And she goes, plural, say plural. So I said, all right. I said, your mother wants me to say apples, plural with the F. She screams. She goes, that was her nickname. So, all right. And I'm like, all right, lady, I'm sorry. I thought she was just going to tell her about when I made the apple pie for her,
Right, like the standard, like mom, grandma. Now, looks like Don't Move says that my mom has dream meaning, especially when people are pregnant. She's been right every Miss Kate.
Yeah.
And Bob said,
or that bump gave it away.
No. Of celebrity and they'd stay. Has happened 3 or 4 times. Reynolds, Art Johnson,
wow.
Bhutan.
Artie Johnson passed away.
There are people in a while. That.
Or Arnie Johnson.
He passed away. Yeah, that's his. But the only I know Johnson.
Yeah, Bob. Is it Arnie Johnson? That's all I know too. Let me see.
Yeah, did Arnie pass away? Because I didn't know Arnie passed away.
Yeah.
And Bob also says, though, they pop up in his head, and I wonder how they are doing. They died the next day. So weird. And
well, Bob, please don't think of me. No. I don't see anything of his passing. Wait. I don't know. Makes me want to watch the movie now, Bob.
Oh, there we go. I just popped out.
There you go.
Gotta love it.
Oh, so Christine, who's the A around you?
April? There you go.
Bob, I'm telling you. Yes, Artie Johnson from laughing. Okay. Bob, I'm telling you, practice meditating, even if it's 10 minutes.
Okay. We were thinking about it with
the Artie Johnson, from The Devil Maybe Do It or something. Yeah. Artie Johnson. Oh, all right.
I thought he was still alive.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know he died.
You were talking about it.
Listen, I'm so upset. Ace Frehley died.
With an A.
Wait, what?
Who?
An A around you?
Who died?
Oh, Ace Frehley from Kiss. I've been devastated over that. I am a huge Kiss fan.
I can't think of
Forever.
anybody off the top of my head.
This is going to be like an Annie. This is definitely female. And there's something like something with a lot of books.
Forever. I can't think of anybody with
All right. All right, take the A out of it.
female that's passed.
Who
Like
somebody
recently.
with the books, like reading, something with a lot of books and a lot of writing or journaling. It's almost like I feel like I
Could
don't
it
know
be
if
a
somebody
last
like
name?
it could be last name. Like I feel like if it's something like even like something writing some with books, something writing, I don't know, even if it's recipes or something.
'Cause I have a lot of that. One specifically that was obsessed with books that his last name started with A.
Okay. That could be it. Because I feel like there's even like they try the hand in writing or something because I just see writing because I see like empty blank pages but writing in that. Also like who had the issue with
There's
the
a couple
knee?
people.
With the knee, I almost feel like I have to
Okay.
have this operated on my
I
knee is
think I
swollen.
have an idea who it might be.
Okay. And there's also somebody, I feel like somebody was like into like herbal remedies or holistic.
Well, it
I
doesn't work.
almost feel like somebody
Like that's where I work is like my husband that passed, the last name was Aaron Holt.
okay. So he's been A. Wait, was he the one with the books?
I do. I have a with my left knee that I've.
Okay. I think you might need surgery on this, or there's gonna be have to have surgery on this because I feel that this is getting swollen. And it's
Yeah,
almost they're gonna
that's
have to
me to a T. I used to be a witch for like 16 years, and then when
oh
this man passed away, that's when I got out of religion altogether. And
okay.
he was a avid reader.
Oh, okay. So also he's talking about like lower issues. I almost feel like intestinal issues, uh, issues with my stomach. You know what? I can't say this word. Please don't make fun of me, guys. Diverticulitis. It feels like that somebody having issues with the stomach with that. I can't not say that word for the life of me. That, and I know that's with the intestines. Somebody's having issues with that. Yeah, something like that. Diverticulitis.
um, I don't know. Like I've always had some issues with my stomach, but I've missed with the.
It might not be you. It might be somebody around you that's going to like almost a warning of this to be careful of this. I hate to get graphic, but somebody's going to like have problems with blood in their stool. Somebody's going to have issues with their stomach. Just so they're so warned about this, but they'll be fine. I also keep smelling wood. Oh, wait. Hey, I'm hosting the show now. We have lost our little mountain girl. All right, guys, ask me a question in the chat. There you go. See,
they want me to know. It keeps dropping me off.
You little witch, you disappeared. Yeah, so
Right?
anyway,
It's
so
like every time you try to read, like I drop off.
well, you did warn that there was issues with overcast and you're in the mountains. Um, but yeah, just somebody has to be careful with that. With your knee, there's definitely gonna have to be surgery on this knee, but it's not gonna be your typical knee surgery. How they have to like fix it
Okay.
because they're gonna have to go like you say, like they would have to go through the side. They're gonna have to go through the front. It's like something weird. Um, but we need to fix this because I feel like I keep getting water swelling on that knee. You know, but thank God that's the worst. If that's the worst thing, pouches. Yeah, that form the yeah, it's the intestines.
Oh,
Yeah,
salt
definitely.
is that formula.
Yes, and that's something
Is
since
that
somebody
like
having issues.
ulcers? Get ulcers.
Uh, well,
I
that's
didn't know if
different from
that's
ulcers,
what it was
but
called, but I get
yeah.
ulcers in my kidneys and ovaries a lot.
Oh, so yeah, you're gonna have to just like be careful with that. My website's going banana. Sorry. As soon as I do the live, my website
You're
just goes
fine.
bananas. And it's funny, sometimes I'll like be home, my website just keeps pinging all night, and I'm like, somebody's talking about me. Like somebody watched one of my lives or something. And now everyone's going to my website. Somebody posted one time, this is a few years ago, that I was doing free readings. I'm like, what? And people would I mean, hundreds of messages. I want a reading. I'm like, what are you
Wow.
talking about? I'm like, do you work for free? Anyway, so yeah, so I just so um so yeah, so just be careful around your knee. But this is not the worst. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is fixable. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Do you know we also have you written books before?
I'm writing a
I
book.
keep I keep seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 books. They all go together. A 4-part series, or
That's
they
what.
all kind of go. So I do see that happening for
Well,
you.
that's
And
funny because the original I was writing, it plotted it out, but when I started to actually sit down and write, it turned out to be like the prequel to story. Because I'm like, for
mhm,
some reason, I have to tell this story and get it
yeah,
to kind of set up the story. So it's turning into its book. But yeah, I have,
yeah.
I'm
It's gonna
about 25,000 words in.
it's gonna be 4-part series. It's gonna be 4 parts to this book. I also do
Okay. I
see
wasn't
you.
planning on it, but all right.
Well, you'll see. Watch. This is what it's going to turn out to be. You might have to break it into 4. So you'll see.
Okay.
But you know what's funny? I do see you doing like a kind of like a book signing somewhere. It's like some type of local event. Um, but it's weird. It's like I don't know if you're in a tent. It almost looks like a teepee to me, or something. Or there's something weird about the place that you will be doing book signing. Ow! Oh, I just hit my toe. What? What?
Okay. I can live with a book signing. That
Yeah,
sounds
so
cool.
but it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm telling you might break this book up into 4. Like, hey, you know what? This is could be like a 4-part series. Like, it's almost like a teaching, you know. So it goes into 4 parts. So say like you're doing a book on the clairs, you have to do all the clairs. All right, I'm going to do the clairsentient, clairaudient, just you'll see. Let me
Yeah,
know
well, right
and
now I'm
say,
a fictional, but I've thought about doing um, something on the lines of like non, but I haven't got that far. I was just playing with the fiction
is it almost
model
like
right now.
teaching,
So,
like a teaching? Yeah.
it's kind of like it's not necessarily teaching, but in what I've learned as
Yeah, it's gonna like help
part
others.
of
It's like it's
the
going. Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
kind of like a near death experience. The girl gains psychic abilities and she's coming to terms with it. Plus, all the
Yeah.
horror stuff happens in the, it's a horror sci-fi, or not sci-fi,
Oh,
but a horror novel.
yeah. Somebody, oh God, who wrote the book? I forgot. Somebody used me in a book. Used my character in a book. It was like a paranormal book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
That's awesome. Well, I wish you would have been better. It was a great hour otherwise. And I
yes,
do appreciate you spending the time out with me.
thank you for
Now,
having me,
do you want to
Christina.
do a anytime, April? Like,
Yeah.
it was a joy. Uh, do you want to do a shout out of all the places they can get like your magazine and your
Oh,
books
yeah,
and
yeah.
your
So
classes?
so guys, if you want to like book a reading with me or to see where my next appearance is, you could go to intuitiveapril.com, and if you want to check out Ghosted Magazine, which is it has its own tab on my website, it's ghostedmagazine.com. Our next issue is coming out in January. We announced the cover. We do the cover reveal, a few weeks before. So it'll be fun. But thank you so much for having me on. This is great. I love you. And I hope to see you in Maine next year.
I'm hoping to be there. I
Yeah.
put in my application for the vendors, and I know that my agent Adam trying to talk to Jeff about me doing a bigger speaking engagement there. So we'll see how that
Yeah.
works out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But
I'll be doing a
I want
gallery
everybody at
reading
home
there.
a big thank you.
Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
awesome. Cross paths again, no doubt. I just want
Absolutely.
to thank everybody for tuning in and staying to the last. I know that we kind of ran over a little bit, but I appreciate you as always. Thank you for watching, and sweet dreams. Bye-bye. Let's see if I can get
Bye.
this to work. There we go.